Ayan. Hello po, good morning everyone. So, andito na naman po tayo sa second day of this webinar series, Introduction to Online Distance Learning, What Sets is Apart from the Rest. Okay, so yesterday po, um, we discussed about what sets online distance learning or ODL apart from the rest. Okay, so let's have a short review po. So, on what we discussed yesterday. So yesterday, syempre, para hindi po natin agad makalimutan, and we see the connection of the previous talk to today's session. Okay, yesterday we discussed the difference between online learning and distance learning. Okay, so they have three major differences. First, we have the location, of course. So what's the difference between online learning and distance learning? First, we have the location, we have the interaction, and of course, we have the intention. So basically, these three are the major differences of online learning and distance learning. For those who haven't watched the video, by CHRDF. You can chat with them, you can talk to them on how will you access it. All right. So next, we also discuss about the advantages, of course, of having online learning and distance learning. Okay. So what are the advantages of using online learning and distance learning? Of course, for online learning, it helps or encourage online learning is an excellent way to increase student engagement when used as a part of blended learning technique inside a classroom. Of course, online learning, syempre, using online learning tools, it makes easier for you to differentiate your instruction. Then lastly, it saves time for planning and grading, of course, and checking their performances of our students. All right. And for the advantages of distance learning, we have to, of course, since this is distance learning, there is a continuous learning in anytime, anywhere. Kahit may pandemic, kahit may COVID, there's a continuous learning. And of course, because distance learning is a self-paced learning. Alam na alam po natin yan. And those are the advantages of online learning and distance learning. But of course, nobody's perfect. Online learning is not perfect. Distance learning is not perfect. There are drawbacks of online learning and distance learning. Alam po natin na lahat may problema. Now that you know the advantages, now let's review now the drawbacks or the faults of having this educational strategy. Okay? So in fact, many of our drawbacks for them are similar due to the fact that this is online and they rely on the digital resources. Lagi po nating tatandaan, online learning and distance learning always or both these two educational strategy rely on digital resources. That's why ano-ano nga po ba ang magiging problema? Of course, online learning students relies on having access to technology in school on a regular basis. Okay? That's for online learning. So, if your students don't have access to computers or other devices during the school, it will be tough um, to truly implement online learning. And of course, online learning brings up many concerns. Syempre, yung screen time na tinatawag natin. That's why it's very important for you teachers to design the structure of your lesson. We also talked about structure yesterday, right? And of course, hindi rin natin may iwasan ang cheating during online learning and distance learning. So, ayun po. those are the drawbacks of online learning and distance learning. Those are the problems that we need to consider in designing online learning and distance learning. But this pandemic, di ba, we marry this two. We marry online learning and distance learning. That's why our yesterday session, we call it online distance learning. Okay po? Online distance learning, introduction to online distance learning. And then I asked you also, which is better? That's on it's online learning or it's distance learning. And most of you answered it like you need to marry it. You need both, especially now in pandemic. Kasi with online learning, it can be physically or it can be inside the classroom because it's only part of the your strategies inside the classroom. Okay, so you can implement online learning, even your face to face. You can also implement online learning, right? Then for the distance learning, geographically apart kayo ni estudyante. So for now, for yesterday's session, we married this two educational strategy, and we arrived with on how will you create your module, how will you create your lesson, and we need to consider three things, right? Remember, we consider three things. We have the interaction, on how will you interact, how the students will interact, or the online learning experiences. So these are the three things that you need to consider. Interaction, structure, and ability of the teacher to give feedback. Again, the main point of designing an online learning lesson or module is to reduce transactional distance. Sabi ko nga po sa inyo, transactional distance is the feeling of loneliness of students or to reduce the distance between the student and the teacher, transactional distance. So it's very important that we look at the structure on how we design our module because it shows that online learning module is very, um, it's effective, but it depends on how you design it. If your module is so strict and so rigid, students are not given opportunity to to base their own learning because sobrang ang daming detalye. It's hard to follow it. It's very hard to follow it. So the tendency is didiskarte po si estudyante on how your students will learn in his or her own way, right? But if your structure naman is too loose, ano pong mangyayari? It's too general, there's so much questions from coming from your students po ang mangyayari. So that's why it's also very important for us to let our students or to know our students. So if bata pa sila, if they are in lower grades or grade school pa lang, check if they can do it. 'Di ba? Yung smart, if it's attainable. If it's attainable. And also consider the time. Right? Then it's very important to consider the feedback, right? Feedback, again, feedback coming from you, feedback coming from the teacher, feedback coming from themselves, feedback coming from their classmates, and feedback coming from the content itself. So we discussed those things yesterday. So very important po si feedbacking in an online distance learning. Dahil sa feedbacking, we let our students know that the teacher is beside them. Hindi po malayo ang distansya natin sa ating mga estudyante. Again, that's transactional distance. And we need to reduce the transactional distance using feedbacking. So with that, we address and we bridge the gap between the transactional distance between student and teacher, the content and the student, and students to student. Kaya meron din po tayong collaboration. All right? So That's why, and we also arrive with this kind of technology-dependent distance learning lesson design by Kat Goyette. So she is one of the Google trainer. That's Kat Goyette. All right. So for this one, we only have four phases. But syempre, according to, based on what I've said yesterday, it depends on how you design your module. This is only a template. This is only, if you want to adapt it, it's fine. But this is only a template that you can follow for online distance learning. Okay, first, of course, you need to set the stage. You need to set the stage of your discussion. You need to know, you need to let your students know the objectives of this lesson, the essential questions, what will be the outcomes. So, paano po siya gagawin? It can be an instructional video. You can record yourself pre-recorded instruction for your students, and what are the materials they will be needing for your lesson or for that particular discussion. Then of course the content, the different links, videos that you want your students to watch, and the questions, the guide questions for them to deepen their learning. Okay, so to know the what of learning. Okay? Then of course, kahit online distance learning po tayo, hindi po mawawala si collaboration. It's very important for us to have um, collaboration, right? Okay. So, ito po si collaboration. So, it's very important to have a collaboration because collaboration, again, address the transactional distance of online learning, para at least hindi nila ma-feel na malayo talaga sila sa kanilang mga classmates, sa kanilang teacher at sa kanilang mga estudyante. Sa content mismo on how will they learn. Okay? So, you can use collaboration um by by um mga interactive or collaboratively like Google Docs. They can share the docs, then they can answer it together, or may mga group work, or students answer students' question or their classmates' question by posting on the web forum, or may forum sila ng mga classmate nila. So if they have questions, they can post it and they can also answer their classmates' question if they know it. All right. Then lastly, we have synthesized learning. Okay, for synthesized learning, ayan po, synthesized learning, yung mga strategies natin on how will the students demonstrate their understanding of the content of the topic. Okay, how will they demonstrate it? So maybe they can use different applications to discuss it. They can use, you ask your students to create a video presentation. You can also ask your students to create a PowerPoint presentation for them to demonstrate what they have learned. Or take a video, then they're going to identify it, or let their family listen to them while they are discussing. So with that, it's very authentic. That's authentic learning, okay? While they are synthesizing the learning. Okay? So that's it for yesterday. Ang haba pa rin po, no? Ang haba ng discussion natin. So, and that is only a review. And it's already, anong oras na tayo? 49 minutes na ata yung review natin. Anyway, that is only a review for what we have discussed yesterday. Okay, to start this day, so again, I would like to welcome you in today's session. We're now in session 2, day 2, creating instructional video as response to the needs of online distance learning. Okay, so what is the connection of today's session to our previous session? So ano nga po ba? 'Di ba? We need instructional video. So para saan po si instructional video? We can use instructional video. Balik po ako dito. We need instructional video for setting the content of your student. Like self-introduction of yourself, who are you, what are the objectives. You can now record yourself para hindi tayo pa ulit-ulit. And you just, all you need to do is to upload it and entertain the questions after. So para mas mahaba ang time natin for feedbacking later. So set the content, the instructional video, then pre-recorded, then of course the content. Kasi syempre mahirap naman pag lagi tayong kumukuha sa YouTube ng mga instructions. Maybe some part of the videos in YouTube are not part of our discussion. So it's very important for us to create our own content. Okay po? So papasok po si creating instructional video as response to the needs of online distance learning. Okay? So, maliwanag po ba doon, teachers? Maliwanag po ba doon, mga educators? Okay, salamat po. Sorry, I'm looking at this screen, teachers. Disclaimer, I'm looking at another screen so I can check your questions. So while you're watching, you can type your questions so I can also check it and then I can answer it while I'm having my discussion para at least maganda yung interaction natin. So ganyan din po tayo sa ating mga estudyante. So may chat box sa gilid, then while discussing, at least two-way discussion pa rin tayo sa ating mga estudyante. Alright? Okay. Thank you po, Sir Edmond, for crystal clear. Crystal clear talaga. Alright, so let's proceed. Um, of course, like million of people around the world that right now, we are facing this pandemic, right? We have this COVID pandemic. That's why we marry online learning and distance learning. We're going to have 5 minutes activity by answering this question. Ano nga ba ang kwentong COVID mo? So ano nga ba ang kwentong COVID mo? So I want you to look, if you have your phone, just scan this one. Okay? Just scan this. Then I want you to answer this question, ano ang kwentong COVID mo? So go to Padlet app. I want you to explore it para at least you can also use this in your classroom for the Padlet app. Then answer this. Please also take a picture of yourself, then upload it in Padlet app. Okay? So ayun po. Link will be posted by, actually this is the link. Ayan, http://3065CZA8. Ayan po. Sige po, you have 5 minutes. Okay, you have 5 minutes. You have 5 minutes po to do it. So while waiting, ayan, I'm going to stop sharing because I want you to look. Screen share. Where are you? Okay. So this one. Ayan. So no app daw po. Ayan. Ayan po. Antayin po natin sila. May mga sumasagot po dito. May sumasagot po sa, ayan. May mga sumasagot po sa ating Padlet app. Actually, if you don't have your app, you can just go directly. Ito po, may plus button po dito. para you can also answer it. Teachers, okay lang para makita ko kayo, mag-selfie po tayo. Wow, thank you. Then you can write your name as the title, then your answer. Title, your name po. Name, please. Name po yung title po natin, name. Then answer po doon sa question. Then take a picture para at least mas maganda po siya. So with this one, using this Padlet app, you can also use this as freedom wall to your student. Para saan po siya? For feedbacking or to know their prior knowledge about a certain topic, just ask questions, then they will answer it. So pwede po siya. Okay. Teachers, please edit it. I want you to write your name. So kilala po natin kung sino nagpo-post. Ayon si Ma'am. So, Sir Raymark M. Marzan. Thank you, Sir Raymark. Kahapon pa si Sir Raymark. Thank you for participating. Buhay webinar daw po siya. So, buhay webinar. So, ayan po. So, ayan. So, antayin ko po kayong magsagot ha. We still have 4 minutes. Sir Jonathan Hubilia, time management become more challenging as you have to balance. Where are you? As you have to balance, di ba? Balance our study, work, and family. All while being within the confines of Erdobe. Okay. Tama naman po. Time management po talaga. Lalo na kapag pamilyadong tao na po tayo. Right, Sir Jonathan Hubilia? Diba, you can see it. While, even if it's online, even if it's distance learning or online distance learning, you can still collaborate. You can still ask questions. So with this one, at sabi ko nga sa inyo, we address the transactional distance. So, di ba natutuwa kayo yung feeling, oy, nakikita ko yung mga classmate ko doon sa post. Ayun si Ma'am. Si Ma'am Rachel de los Santos from Caloocan High School. O, di ba? Nakaano siya. May picture sa cellphone niya. So, it's very also, it's important. I mean, it's very effective also. I mean, you can use Padlet app in your cellphone. Siyempre, for sure, ang mga estudyante natin may mga cellphone yan. Right? May mga Android phone yan. And even our teachers, you can create Padlet app for your student. Alright? Laging kasama ang cellphone. Okay, so online learning, laging kasama ang cellphone. For online learning, yes, but I think, diba, yesterday we learned about that you need the structure. You need to know the structure because we need to lessen the screen time. The screen time for online learning. Maybe in your instruction, you can ask your students to get a piece of paper, then write their answer, then post it. Kasi it's addressing the screen time of your students because screen time, that is also a problem for student. That is also a problem in online distance learning. Okay? So to address it, you need to blend instruction, even if it's online, even if it's distance learning. Okay? So, ang saya, ang dami na natin. Kasi actually natutuwa ako, teachers. I'm very hesitant if this Padlet app and the Kahoot yesterday will work in this webinar. Sabi ko, baka hindi gumana, baka hindi siya maging effective or walang sumagot sa inyo. So I'm so happy kasi nandito siya. At kaya naman siyang gawin even if it's online learning or distance learning. So ang problema lang, syempre, sabi ko nga sa inyo kanina nung nagre-review tayo and yesterday's discussion, the drawbacks of online learning and distance learning, one of it is the access to technology and of course the internet connection. So, yun. So, ayun po isa sa mga drawbacks ni online learning and distance learning. Okay, one more minute. One more minute. Then we can proceed to our discussion. Ayan, ang saya. Ang dami na natin. Ayan. Sige, while you're answering, if you have questions, I'll look at the chat box or the live comment section. Then, shout out na rin. Fandi Muhammad, hello from Indonesia. It's fun, Sir Jolan. Oh, thank you. Welcome to the Philippines. Mabuhay. Di ba, welcome to the Philippines agad, kahit online tayo. Ayan. Papa Habs, yes sir, I believe I'm not the only one who is a family person here. Yes, Papa Habs, marami talagang mga teachers natin na family person. That's why we need to really manage our time. It's very effective. And we need to balance our time to everything, not only in online learning. All right. So I think it's time. One last. Let's have Ma'am Amihan S2 Pass. Learn a lot through webinars, tried a lot of dish to make can canned goods nutritious and delicious. Ma Ma'am Amihan, marami po ba tayong ayuda dyan? O, di ba? Kasi itong COVID na to talagang napurga po tayo sa canned goods eh. Yung mga ayuda kasi last time mahirap talaga lumabas, mahirap mamalengke. So, isa rin to sa mga problema ng mga nanay. How will you make the canned goods nutritious and delicious for the students? Kasi pag paulit-ulit, nakakaano po siya, nakakasawa. So, yun. Hi, sir! Sorry. Sir, from Tagaytay City. Um, Ayan, balik probinsya and undergo series of training and watching here in Tagaytay from Father Luigi. So ang saya po, 'di ba? So nakikita natin yung mga estudyante po natin dito. Ayan, Sir Raymark, thank you for watching. Ay, wait lang, nakita ko si kapatid na Jod. Ayun. Hi Sir Jod Torres, sobrang nakaka-trigger ng mental issues itong quarantine. But thanks to webinars, they keep me productive. Mahirap pero worth it. Yes. Sabi ko nga sa inyo, it's very hard to design an online module. It's very hard to be an online distance learning teacher. Lalo na kapag hindi talaga tayo ready kasi it's biglaan. Although it's the path of the education, but it's ano biglaan na bigla tayo lahat kasi we're not expecting this one. We are not expecting this kind of pandemic in our country, not only in our country, but it's globally. It's globally um, affected po tayo globally, right? Because of this pandemic. So thank you for your participation in our Padlet app. I hope you can also use this in your online distance learning for your students. Ayan. Ayan pa po, may mga humahabol pa sila ma'am. Happy to discover the world through internet. Still happy. Ayan. Thank you po. So, ayan. Stop. 'Di ba? So, ayan. Yun, thank you teachers kasi for actively participating in our activity. Kala ko talaga hindi siya magiging effective eh. But I know, I hope nag-enjoy kayo at with, ayan. At sana, may natutunan kayo strategy sa paggamit natin ng Padlet app. Ayan, we call it Padlet app. So magpapakilala po akong again, I'm Jolan Torres. I will be your speaker for today's session entitled Creating Instructional Video as Response to Online Distance Learning. So, ayan po, online distance learning. So, creating explainer video. So, bakit nga po ba kailangan natin ng explainer video? So, for the explainer video, remember, um, online learning or online distance learning, yan, online distance learning, the goal of it is to sustain engaging learning experiences through a combination of asynchronous and synchronous activities. But what is asynchronous and what is asynchronous learning? Yesterday, we defined online learning and distance learning and what are the advantages of it. And under the umbrella of online distance learning, we have this what we call asynchronous and synchronous. So, asynchronous, so ipapadaliin na lang po natin para maintindihan natin si asynchronous. Asynchronous, ibig sabihin, it's students learn at their own pace. You're not um, at the same time. It's not live. It is offline, of course, can be online or offline because the students can view it online or offline with your instructional materials such as videos. Of course, students can manage their own time in doing asynchronous learning because it's very flexible and self-paced learning or self-regulation. Kung kailan niya gustong aralin to or kung kailan niya gustong buksan tong activity na to, ayun, yung gagawin ng estudyante. And with this, teachers use tools that provide automated response for feedback giving. Alright. So, kapag sabi ko sa inyo, feedbacking is very important, right? And feedbacking not only coming from the teacher or the students, it can be coming from the content itself. For example, you will ask your students to have their formative assessment using Google Forms or quizzes or Kahoot. There is a feedback right away kung kailan niya sasagutan. Meaning, andun pa rin si self-paced learning kung kailan niya sasagutan. Pero of course, the teachers need to have a good, to construct it. You need to know the structure, you need to design it well, you need to be creative in doing it. Kasi pwede siyang lagyan ng timeline yung mga or due date kung hanggang kailan nila pwedeng sagutan. At least they have the time, freedom of time when to answer it. And of course, it's technical, less technical issues may occur, hence less chances of learning disruption. Bakit po less technical siya? Kasi you can always go back to it. You can always go back to the video, to the formative assessment, to the activities of your students. And that is asynchronous learning. Again, asynchronous learning, students learn at their own at their own pace. Okay, 'di ba? Yung F at saka P na paghihiwalay na interchange ko. All right. Then going to synchronous learning, students learn at the same time. So, for this synchronous learning, there is a live session, right? There is a live session. It can be virtual classroom presentation, or it can be a live chat with your students, or messaging audio, video chat, live quizzes, or poll, surveys. If you want to know their prior knowledge, it can be live polling or survey. Pwede siya, di ba? Can only be done online using, yun nga yung sinasabi natin, it can be only online dapat siya. Video conference, live sessions via Zoom, Ano pa bang pwede? Google Meet. We will discuss Google Meet tomorrow. Tomorrow. And then students follow set schedule of online lessons because you need to schedule it. Oh, we have online session today with my teacher. The time is because it's face to face or it's come to come for you and your students. Then teachers can provide immediate feedback and answers of student concerns of student. Teaching and student can be interrupted by internet or other technical problem. So ayun. So medyo mahirap siya kapag naka-live tayo because 100% sure sa first experience mo, you will really encounter a technical problem with with synchronous learning or with live session. So yon. For the synchronous learning, kailangan talaga i-check natin lahat or we practice it before we discuss it to the students or before we discuss it with your audience. Yon. Because it's live. Ito, hindi mo na siya mababawi kasi it's live. Alright? Then, yung katulad po ng sinasabi ko yesterday, teachers can provide immediate feedback and answer concerns of students during synchronous learning. Okay? For the synchronous learning, you're not going to discuss a lesson. This is only for my suggestion, but it depends on how will you um, create your lesson for that one. But for me, synchronous learning is not designed for me to discuss a lesson, an entire lesson. Why? Because hindi naman siya sa toxic. Because synchronous learning is for you to address the misconception of the students. Kaya nga po, ang sinasabi ko kahapon, while you're designing your module, in your asynchronous learning, in your learning management system, have a freedom wall wherein students can post questions. Yung Padlet kanina, you can also use that or ask your students to post a question in Padlet para po ma-address natin lahat ang questions and misconceptions of the students. So in this asynchronous discussion, in video conference, in live conference, or Zoom, in your Zoom live conference, you can address all the questions of the students. So there will be no left behind, right? Kasi na-analyze mo na lahat ng questions kasi mamaya pare-parehas ang tanong ng estudyante. At least, okay, silang lahat, andito yung misconception niya. Andito yung um, hindi nila nauunawaan itong topic na to. Okay? So, for you, teacher, for the feedback, we can reiterate it in your live session and in your synchronous discussion with your students. So basically, under online distance learning, there is what we call asynchronous learning and synchronous learning. Okay? So, ayan. Tingnan po natin ito. Actually, there is unproductive debate of synchronous versus asynchronous learning. Like millions of people around the world right now, right there, practicing online distancing. One valid point that has been brought up online is that the term should really be physical distancing rather than social distancing. Of course, self-isolation and quarantine separate us geographically, but the psychological space between us doesn't have to be vast. So these days, we have online tools that connect us socially in many ways that can mitigate the loneliness that comes with physical separation. So, 'di ba, may social distancing. But alam niyo po ba, in the field of instructional design for online learning, this is not a new concept. Social distancing is not a new concept. Physical distancing is not a new concept because in the field of instructional design, there is what we call transactional distance theory. Yung sinasabi ko nga po sa inyo, the transactional distance theory um, is useful for online distance course. Okay? So, that distance during instruction is transactional, not spatial or temporal. It suggests that if we work to reduce a psychological space between participants and the teachers through pedagogy, it will likely lead to a higher learning outcomes. So in simple way, we need to address the transactional distance. Katulad ng sinasabi ko, we need to bridge the gap of the transactional distance. We need to bridge the gap of the transactional distance. Kung si pandemic patuloy tayong pinaglalayo tayo between our students and teachers, si transactional distance using online learning, you need to make your students feel that you teacher is always beside them and their classmates is always beside them. And that is what we call transactional distance theory. Okay? So meron na po palang transactional distance theory na nangyayari before pa for the instructional distance, not only sa pandemic. 'Di ba? May distance din na nangyayari between the students and teachers during the online distance learning. So ayun po yung gusto kong sabihin sa inyo. So while we have to continue this physical distancing for some time, when teachers design a well-structured lesson that enable our students to ask questions or engage discussions, receive and give feedback to our students, and actively participate in activities, we bring our learning communities closer together because of the transactional distance theory. Ayun, lagi kong sinasabi sa inyo, it's how you design your online distance learning module or your online distance lesson or discussion. Always remember that you need to address the transactional distance theory. How will you make feel, your students feel that you're not far from them. You're not far from your student. Okay? So we discussed those things yesterday. Okay. So online, so ito po, si asynchronous, what are the modes, what are the benefits? So I will not discuss this anymore because we discussed that kanina. My question is, which one is right for you? Yesterday, I asked you which one is right for you. Is that online learning or distance learning? But for now, my question is, which one is right for you? Synchronous or asynchronous learning? Check, comment your answer in the comment section in YouTube Live. So I'll check. So I can see your understanding or your decision regarding asynchronous and synchronous. Which one is right for you? Is that synchronous? Is that asynchronous? Or it can be a combination of synchronous and asynchronous learning for your school. Let me see. Okay, while waiting for your answers, thank you, Ma'am Forian Kabantog. So good morning then. Thank you for watching. You're from Father Luigi Caborloto School of Amadeo, Cavite. I'm also from Cavite, ma'am. Sana magkita tayo sa Cavite, di ba? You're from Cavite. Okay. So, Ma'am Aileen on you is asynchronous. Is asynchronous daw. Merong both combination. There's asynchronous in time of pandemic. A combination po. asynchronous. Okay, most of you answered combination or both, but some of you answer asynchronous. Okay, remember, for me, if it's asynchronous only, if it's asynchronous only, you're not addressing the transactional distance theory. Nasaan po kaya si pwede rin naman. Pwede rin naman if you're going to post the picture of yourself and if you're going to design um a lesson that you are talking to the student. It can be, okay? A lesson that you're talking to the student. You design it as if you're talking to your student on how to do this and how to do that. So not purely instruction. Then you can also post your video of yourself. All right, very good. Thank you po. Both. Yes, thank you. Combination po siya. It's a really combination because I think if it's only asynchronous, what if your students don't know or if they have misconception? You can answer it. Of course, you can answer it like they can post question, then they can answer it. But the question is medyo yung time difference, yung structure. So always remember for of those things. We need the structure. Yun, both combination. Okay, combination, thank you because it's a combination of synchronous and asynchronous learning. Not always asynchronous. You can set a date when to have a live session with your students once a week just to address the misconception of the lesson or of the topic. Okay? So yun po, asynchronous and para sa akin, so it really depends for you teachers on how will you design it effectively. Okay? All right. So let's focus now for asynchronous learning. So what are the things that you are going to have for your asynchronous discussion? For setting the stage and for the content, we have this you need to record yourself giving the instruction, the objectives. You need to give the materials that they need to use. And then for the content, you're going to record yourself, right? So for the asynchronous discussion, I prepared this one. I'm going to have a short demo using this application. So we have QuickTime Player, we have Loom, we have AVP, we have Screencastify, we have Screenomatic, and of course, if you're using iPhone, we have this screen recording. So let's start first with Loom. Okay, so this is Loom. Okay, let me stop sharing because I'm going to share my entire screen. Okay, for example, sige, I'm going to share my entire screen. Okay, for example, I'm going to open my presentation yesterday. Okay, I'm going to my presentation yesterday, so this one. And I want to discuss it with my students. How will I'm going to use Loom to record my discussion? Okay, so okay. For example, this is my presentation. Where are you? My presentation. Ba siya? What happened? Okay. For example, this is my presentation. how will I use Loom? Okay, Black Media. Okay, so this is the Loom application. Ito, this one. This is the Loom application. I will open it. I will open the Loom application. Then for the Loom application, okay, for the Loom application, okay, ito, Loom application. Okay, so this is Loom. Sorry, medyo matagal siya kasi naglo-loading. Yan. So this is Loom application. Okay. For Loom application, you can either share your, you can record your screen plus camera or the screen of your presentation. Okay. Then it can be full screen or you can also custom the size of your screen. For example, I want only custom, I want to customize it. And record it. Then I can place my camera here sa gilid. Then you can make it smaller. Ayan, para mas maganda siya. Then you can start recording. Ayan. You can now record. Alright. So with this one, you can now record. Ayan. Okay, you can discuss it. You can move the presentation. Then you can stop the Loom. Then automatically it will be saved in your computer. So yun. Okay. So that is Loom. So let's go to Screencastify. Actually, si Loom medyo naglo-loading siya because that's online. And that's online. But for this one, this is Screencastify. It's free. You can download it for free. Just search for Screencast-O-Matic downloader. How will you use Screencast-O-Matic? So, for example, this is my, yan, okay, Screencast-O-Matic. I will use Screencast-O-Matic. Okay, double click Screencast-O-Matic. Okay. Oopsie. Screencast-O-Matic, where are you? Quit ko siya. Screencast-O-Matic. Alright, sige, let's go back to Screencast-O-Matic. Medyo may technical problem lang here for the Screencast-O-Matic. Now, let's proceed with Screencastify. Okay. For the Screencastify, it's also, it's online. You can download this online. Okay, for the Screencastify, for example, here, this is my presentation or this, I want to discuss about this one. Okay, I have here the Screencastify. You can download this and install it in your Google Chrome. Just go to Chrome Web Store. Ayan. Okay. So this one. All right. So I think there's a problem with this if you're using live. Okay, that's why I can't record. I can't demonstrate it. So for now, let's proceed to the next one, which is using your iPhone. Okay, if you're using your iPhone and you want to record it, okay, it's here. It's loading. It really takes time because I'm in live. So ayan, medyo mabaga siya. Ayan. So ito pala si Screencastify. You can record your browser tab or your desktop or your webcam only. So ito siya. Balik tayo kay Screencastify. Sorry, medyo mabagal siya because it's online. Then you can record it. And for example, I want to record this part. Mm-hmm. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. Okay. Sige. Talagang ganito teachers, it's a tip if you're going to have a demonstration on how we're going to demonstrate on how to record screen. You cannot record the screen while having a live session. Okay. So for screen recording, anyway, I'll give you link. I'll create a video na lang, then a link on how will you record the screen para maulit-ulit nyo din pag hindi nyo naiintindihan. So, ayan. So for now, I'm going to, I have a video of AVP. Ito na lang, AVP. For the AVP, ADV, it's ADV, this one. Okay. ADV, you can download that for free. And this is using your phone. Okay. I recorded this video so you can watch this on how to record using your phone. Ayan. All right. So anyway, teachers, I'll give you recording. Ayan. I'll share my screen again. So there is a technical problem lang. Where is Zoom? So talaga mangyayari talaga siya kapag nagla-live session po tayo. So ayan. Especially if you don't have a good internet connection. Ayan. Okay, so anyway, we have technical problem in demonstrating on how to do it, but I'll give you a link on how to create it. CHRF, I think they can give you videos on how to do it. Or if you have questions, just email me. I have my email. I'll post it after this session. I'll post my email address. But why is it important to use asynchronous instructional materials? Of course, for pausing, rewinding, fast forward, and increasing, decreasing the video speed that allows the learners to control the pace of their learning. And it is also multiple studies that have shown that videos can be highly effective educational tool. Of course, then creating your own instructional videos will allow you to better contextualize its content based on your teaching strategies, your teaching style, and of course, your students' needs. So, ayun po. Um, where? No, wala. So, yun. So, going back here, um, asynchronous discussion, you can use pre-recorded videos. Okay po? But what is the suggested instructional videos for our student? According to a study, they observed that the median engagement time for videos that are less than 6 minutes long was close to 100%, and longer videos correspondence to lower student engagement. So again, at least 6 minutes video lang po ang pwede nating gawin. I mean, that's the recommended. That is the suggestion para the engagement of our students are still there. So, yun po. Okay? So, teachers, you can also look for this application that you can use for your screen recording. The QuickTime Player, if you're using Mac computer, it's very easy. No need to download it because it's built-in application. We have the Loom, but it's online. Medyo mahirap siyang gawin. I mean, mahirap siyang mag-record, but if you have fast internet connection, why not? Then we have here also Screencastify. Then Screencast-O-Matic. Actually, Screencast-O-Matic, maganda siyang gamitin. Maganda siyang gamitin to record your screen of your presentation habang nandoon ka sa gilid or may talking head like dito sa Zoom na nakikita natin, andito ako sa taas nyo. Then for this green icon, for the ADV, that is for Android phone. So if you're using Android phone, you can download this, but make sure you have your presentation in your phone. Di ba may mga PowerPoint naman tayo sa cellphone? May mga PowerPoint naman tayo sa cellphone. PowerPoint application sa cellphone. So you can download this ADV. Ayan. ADV for the application. Okay. So ito, pwede siyang gamitin. Para mas madali, even if you have your phone, Android phone, you can record your screen or you can create your instructional material. And for those iPhone users, this is built in. You can use screen record po. Right? So, ayun siya. So again, this instructional videos addresses the asynchronous learning, the content, and on how will you set the stage in your classes or in your lesson. So, ayun po siya. So, thank you for your time and for listening. I hope you learned about asynchronous and synchronous learning today and why do we need asynchronous instructional materials. So, yun lang po teachers. Thank you for listening and I hope makakagawa po tayo ng ating instructional video for our students para sa ating asynchronous learning. So, if you have questions, I have here my email, I have here my Instagram, and let me know. Then if you have also have a question right now, you can type it in the comment box. Ayan. Type it in the comment box. I'll wait for your question. Ayan. Thank you very much, sir, for teaching tools you have shared. I supposed to demonstrate it, but I think there is a problem if if I'm doing live, then I record my screen using certain application. So medyo tsaka mabagal kasi online po kasi yung iba. So yon. So but I suggest that you can download this application. Ito para sa lahat po 'yan. Mac computer, Windows computer, Android cellphone, tsaka Apple phone or your iPhone if you have your iPhone. So yun po, yung mga marami pong perang pambiling iPhone dyan. So yun, you can use the screen recording of your iPhone. So ayan, check po natin. Okay. So ayan po yung mga application na pwede nating gamitin. So if you have question, just let me know. Teacher sa comment section. So yan. I'll try to share my entire screen. Okay? So I'm going to try, okay, as you can see, nakikita niyo yung screen ko. This one. Okay? So I'm going to use, but I don't have my camera. I tried to off my camera para makapag-screen record ako. I'll try to demo lang yung isang application, Screencast-O-Matic, which is, you can download that for free online. You can use it in your Mac computer and in your Windows computer. For example, this one, I open Screencast-O-Matic. There. Okay. So for the Screencast-O-Matic, ito po siya. Okay. So once you click this icon, Screencast-O-Matic, lalabas po ito. Nakikita niyo po? Ayan. So since I'm using free application or free app, I click launch free recorder. Ayan. Free recorder lang siya. Free recorder lang po siya. So magkakaroon tayo ng screen. Ayan. Ito po. Magkakaroon tayo ng screen na black and may broken lines po tayo dito sa gilid. Then it will ask you, what do you want to save? Or how do you want to record? Is that screen only? Is that webcam? Or if you want both? Okay, I'll try to click both. So I have a talking head on the side or sa baba. So ayan, for example, then you can drag this one. For example, I just want to record only this part of the part of this screen. Ayan. Tapos, andito po ako sa gilid. Ayan. Ayan. Okay. Then I can click, or I can close that one. Then I can start recording. Okay, for example, I'll start recording. Pero syempre, dahil maliit siya, pwedeng baba ko siya ganyan. Basta you design it. Then click record. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Good morning, class. So these are the things that you need to have this application. So we have Screencast-O-Matic. This one is the Screencast-O-Matic. The QuickTime Player. We have the Loom. Then we have AVD for Android phone. Then if you're using iPhone, you can use the built-in screen recording app or screen recording button for your iPhone. Ayan. Then if you're done, you can just stop. Okay? Then done, click done. Then you can save the video. Then after saving the video, ayan, let's wait for it. It's here. Then you can save file. Actually, you can trim it. Then I'll save it in my, I'll rename it demo there. Then publish it. Okay. So it will be saved in my recording file in your computer, in your desktop. Okay. So thank you for those who are watching. We have 431 who are watching right now. So ayan. Actually ito, meron na po tayong Screencast-O-Matic. We can use this one. Ito, Screencast-O-Matic. AVD, it's very easy. Pwede nyo siyang gamitin. Ayan, sorry, it's loading because it's saving the video. Then, papakita ko sa inyo yung final output niya. Okay. So you can explore this. Okay. I want to play the video. Okay. Ito na yung video na ginawa po natin. Ito. Ito na yung ay nakalagay, recorded with Screencast-O-Matic. Since this is free, may nakalagay lang po talagang recorded with Screen-O-Matic. But I think that is not a big deal kasi this is only for our students. Hindi naman siya for marketing purposes or anything. Ayan. Then, I'll play this one. Okay. Check nyo. Good morning, class. So these are the things that you need to have this application. So we have Screencast-O-Matic. This one is the Screencast-O-Matic. The QuickTime Player. We have the Loom. Then we have AVD for Android phone. Then if you're using iPhone, you can use the built-in screen recording app or screen recording button for your iPhone. Yeah. Then if you're done, you can just stop. Okay. So nakita nyo po, ayan. So let me stop my screen, then share again. Then, okay. All right. Ayun. So nakita niyo po yung video. So ganun lang siya kadali yung gamitin sa Screencast-O-Matic. And then, for the rest of the application, it depends on what gadget you have. You have MacBook computer, you have Windows computer, or you only have Android. It doesn't matter because you can use this one, the ADV. Okay, ADV for Android app. Ayan si ADV. Ito po si ADV. So, ayan. Ganito po gamitin si ADV na nag-record na rin po ako. First, go to ADV application if you have, ayan, ADV application. First, you need to open your presentation. Okay, open your presentation. Okay. But make sure you click the ADV icon on the side. You can record it. You can use pen to record, or while you're talking to your students, you can highlight it. You can mark the presentation. Then if you want to show your camera, ayan, just click that icon. Ayan, that's the camera. You can see it on the side. Ayan. So pwede siya. Ito, i-click nyo lang po yung icon. Then there's edit button. Okay. So this one, ADV, if you're using an Android phone, okay? So if you're using an Android phone, you can still record your presentation. Okay? So ganun siya, tas masisave siya sa inyong phone, then you can share it in your learning management system, and that is already asynchronous. Okay? The wherein your students can rewind it, can go back if they have if they didn't understand the lesson or your instruction, they can always go back. All right? So let me know. That's it for today. Let me know if you have question, teachers. Okay. So if you have question, shout out muna tayo kay Ma'am Solger Palahang. Good AM sa tanan. Good AM po. My question here from Ma'am LG Marie Fuego. What about the options? I have a solo plan. I have a team plan. Okay, I have a team plan and solo plan using Screencast-O-Matic. Ma'am, that is paid. That is paid by your company or by your school. But I'm not using it because it's not, I don't have, I mean, I think I don't need to purchase it. But if you're going to purchase an application like Screencast-O-Matic, you will be having more features on how will you record your presentation. Mm-mm. Like, pwede kang maglagay ng background, tapos yung mga layers. So, may green screen ka din. So, kapag paid up. Pero I think no need for us, especially for us teachers na hindi naman ganun kalaki yung mga sahod natin. So, no need to buy. I'm introducing free applications for all. Kailangan free applications also for the students. If we're going to require our students to to use an application, make sure it's free. That's free. Sa school po namin, free lahat ng app. We're not requiring them to buy. We're exploring free application. Yun po. Okay, question. Using the different apps you mentioned, sir, hope we could get a detailed step-by-step guide, sir, that will be very important tool in preparing a pre-recorded instruction. Mm. Mm. Sir Edmond Saison, yes, I can give you, but kapag wala po akong ma-provide na step-by-step, maybe I can send you a link on how to do it. Sa mga instructional video sa YouTube, meron din po doon. Or try to explore it. You can explore it, sir. My question po, sir, can I use Zoom for college? Can I use Zoom for college setup? Yes po. You can choose whatever video applications that you want, but make sure you set an instruction, you set a guideline, and it's very important to set a rule or rules that that you need in your or while you're conducting the or with online conference or the live session. For example, ask all your students to mute all their camera if they're not talking. Okay? So like that, and so on and so on. You need to set guidelines for video conference. LG Marifuego, like premium? Okay, yes ma'am. Like premium for the screencast-o-matic. Premium application po siya. That's paid. Shout out daw po to all teaching staff of San Jose Elementary School Division of Caloocan. Hello po. Sana po ay makagawa tayo ng instructional material natin. Okay. Next. Do you have any question po, teachers? If you have, if you only have Android phone, ito po si ADB, medyo madali lang po siya. May question ako kay Sir Edmond Saison. Sir, what gadget do you have right now? So I can send you, so we can send you the step-by-step on how to use it, or the recommended applications for you to record your your instructional material. What gadget do you have right now, or what is the available gadget you have right now? Okay, so we can send yung pinakamaganda at pinakamas okay na gamitin. But I think Screencast-O-Matic is good for all. If you're using Windows computer and Mac computer. Then for Android phones, kasi for Android phone, I recommended AVD. And for iPhone, recommended, or iPad, the built-in screen recording. Sir Richard, John Richard Padua, may tanong daw po siya sa taas. Wait lang, sir. Sir Richard Padua. Sir, okay lang paki-retype na lang po, medyo natabunan na rin siya. For Microsoft Teams or Office 365, what application are appropriate for screencast? Ma'am, for Microsoft Teams is a learning management system from Microsoft, right? Then Office 365, this is online. Those are applications. Online, Microsoft Word, PowerPoint. You can also use that. I mean, you can use this application to record those screens. Kasi ang Microsoft Office 365 po, online office application po siya. Okay. Sir, I'm using Windows computer and I'm kay Sir Edmond Saison, and I'm using Windows computer and Android cell phone, Sir Jolan. Okay. Noted, Sir Saison. Contact me here to my email. I'll send you on how to do it. Maybe I can give you a link only. I'll send you the link, or or the video itself. Okay, thank you. Watching here from Las Piñas City. Ma'am Andrea Batang, taga Las Piñas, may taga Las Piñas din po kami. Okay, another question. This is Richard Pado's question. How can we ensure, sir, that videos and recordings would not leak on other platforms since fake information and instructions is rampant online? How can we ensure, sir? Okay. I suggest, sir, for example, just make sure that you save it in your Google Drive. If you have Google Drive, then just share the link, restricted link. Those who don't have or doesn't have the link, they will not access it. Okay. Or if you want to upload it in YouTube, make sure that you change the setting into unlisted. So it is not searchable. Okay. Sir, ano pong app ang suitable sa most Android phones na hindi masyado memory consuming at easy to navigate lalo na yung seasoned teachers na hindi techie? Ma'am, try this one, AVD. The AVD application for Android phone. Yes po. It's very easy to use, and for those who are seasoned teacher, I think they can manage how to use it. Do you have any more questions po, teachers? Okay, so I think we're until 11 o'clock lang. It's already 11:04. So see you tomorrow. I hope there will be no technical problems na. Ito, for our tomorrow session, we're going to adjust it to instead of maximizing Google Suites for education, we're going to adjust it and discuss first the amplifying online distance learning through Google Meet and Google Slide. So you'll see the connection. Because in today's discussion, we created or I demonstrated the different ways or shared the different applications for you to create asynchronous lesson or asynchronous discussion. Now, tomorrow, we are going to have um, synchronous discussion. We're going to amplify online learning through Google Meet and slides and on how will you conduct um, synchronous discussion to your students. So, ayun po. John Richard Padua, thank you sir. Shout out po sa San Mateo National High School, San Mateo Rizal. Salamat po. Sir Richard, salamat din ha. Kung sana nasagot ko yung tanong mo. Basta, I think, for me, don't, para sa akin na, don't limit your instructional materials to your students. Mas maganda siya kung i-share natin siya. Lalo na halimbawa may lesson ka na pwede sa lahat. You think that pwedeng gamitin ng ibang mga public school teacher that can that that is also a way of helping other teachers in the public school. So pwede rin nilang gamitin yun din. Sana pwede. At sana mapag-isipan natin kung gagawa tayo instructional material. Aside from our students, we also created this instructional materials to help other teachers. Di ba nga CHRDF, teachers need teachers. So yon, para at least they can reuse the video. Ayaw mo, magsisikat ka pa. You're welcome po, teachers. Yan. Okay, salamat po, teachers. See you tomorrow. God bless. At see you. Good luck tomorrow. Sana walang technical problem. Salamat at thank you so much also for participating in this webinar at saka kanina doon sa Padlet natin. Maraming salamat po.